So it's been about a week, and I decided it's about dang time that I go ahead and review this game right here, Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PlayStation 4 slash Xbox One. After all the years of waiting, years and years of waiting, playing games on the Nintendo DS, PSP, and Nintendo 3DS, and then rebuying them just to play it on the PS4. You know, I feel bad for these Xbox One users, these Xbox loyalists that are like, hey, I want to get into the Kingdom Hearts 3 franchise, and they literally have to like buy all those consoles, or maybe they just watch YouTube playthroughs. Maybe they were smart and they saved their money. Who knows? But man, it's been a long journey, but we finally got Kingdom Hearts 3. I never thought I would see the day. Honestly, when they announced this for January 29th, I said Nomura's going to push that back. This is not coming out till summer. I really thought this was going to come out in the summer. I thought they were going to push it back. I literally said that January 29th release date, I do not think that's final. And as we got closer and closer, as it was like January 1st, I was like, oh, this is real. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually going to happen. Like, we're going to get this game. January 25th dropped, and I was like, people are playing this game in Japanese. Oh my God, it's actually here. And I avoided all the leaks and everything like that, so I didn't see anything that was going on. I was just like, nope, I'm not getting spoiled. And then finally, we get to Kingdom Hearts 3. We finally get this game. And the main question everyone's going to ask when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, no matter what, did it live up to the hype? Well, let's get to that in this review, shall we? I know I'm going to make you guys watch the whole video, however long this is, because this is a spoiler review, and it's me going to be talking about almost everything about the game. And just kind of the reason why I had to do it in a spoiler review, I feel like certain points wouldn't make clear, like kind of like the Kingdom Hearts plot. You need to explain your points. You need to back up your points. You need people to understand where I'm coming from when I say something. Now, here's the thing. People who follow this channel mainly for my professional wrestling videos know I'm very critical on stuff. Just because I love something does not mean I can't be critical. And I know with the KH fan base, you say something they don't like and they tend to get a little bit hesitant and get really mean. Here's the thing, people. This game right here, I'm going to say some stuff you may not like. Just know, it is my opinion. You have an opinion? You can express that opinion in the comment section. Just be chill about it. You don't have to call me an asshole. You can just be like, you know what? I disagree. And that's fine by me. But no need to call me an asshole just because you love Corona and I thought Corona was the worst world in the game. Oh yeah. Shots fired because that was terrible. But you know what wasn't terrible about Kingdom Hearts 3? The gameplay. Kingdom Hearts, one of the main things about Kingdom Hearts that I liked the most was the gameplay of it, especially as a little kid. I didn't play that much JRPGs. Kingdom Hearts is really like the first JRPG minus Final Fantasies that I played. And a lot of JRPGs that I played were always turn-based combat games. And, you know, when I'm a little kid, I just want to hit the X button. I'm not paying attention to like, oh man, yeah, if I use this, then I get the mana recovery. Like that's too much for me. I just want to hit X button. And Kingdom Hearts gave me a JRPG game experience where I was like, well, all I have to do is hit X button and I'm good. Now, granted, yes, there's way more mechanics to the Kingdom Hearts combat besides hitting the X button. But I was like, man, dude, this is great. All I have to do is hit the X button. This is an awesome game. 5 out of 5. I love it. I really love Kingdom Hearts 1. It made me love the game and the series just because of the gameplay. It was simple. Kingdom Hearts 2, a little bit more complicated gameplay, especially when you get into the mechanics. And then later on, like, you know, when you play the other ones, like Birth by Sleep, where they added command deck and 358 over 2 days, and all these games with the command deck and everything, those ones you have to think a little bit more. You can't just get away with your X button nonsense. You kind of can, but not to the full extent. Even Dream Drop Distance you punishes you for not being really decent at the game. And so, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts, when I felt about the gameplay, what they always try to like introduce is like, oh yeah, you get choices. You can either be a wizard, you can be a defensive man, or you can be an offensive force. And really, to be honest, it didn't matter if you chose wizard because, you know, magic really wasn't that strong in KH1 or 2. You know, in the other games, like the portable games, magic's pretty dang good with the command deck because you're not limited to an MP bar. But in the games attached to the main streamline games of 1 and 2, it's like, yeah, you choose spellcaster and sure, you get a boost in magic, and that's cool when you can transform into the different forms and abuse magic. But magic's really not that powerful. It's not like you can go through the whole game, especially in the beginning of KH1. You can't go through the whole game being like, I'm going to be a wizard. A lot of the main bosses in the game are resistant to spells. You know, like the fire, the thunder, and the blizzard spell, like your main offensive spells. Like stop is the best spell and gravity is the best spell in Kingdom Hearts 1. And then you get to Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's like, yeah, if you can transform into the forms without worrying about going to anti-form, magic's pretty damn powerful. But it's not like you can go through the whole game bossing like you're a wizard. You know, defense, it was just so that way you can have an extra defense mechanism for opponents, so that way you don't get brutalized by some of the early enemies in the game. And then attack is just so that way you can hit harder. This game, you can actually choose the style you want to play, and I feel like it does matter. Like, I feel like if you really want to go in and just be a mystic sage and use magic throughout the whole game, you can. Yeah, you have to you have to watch your MP bar, but the fire spell is one of the most overpowered spells in the game. Arrow's overpowered. Thunder's overpowered. Blizzard and water, oh, they're good, but they're not overpowered like fire. Fire can just obliterate bosses in this game. You can take away any bosses, and I really like that. It has different gameplay for everyone. Like, you don't have to just be like, yeah, you can go vintage Kingdom Hearts style, press X like crazy, and then hit triangle when you need to. But really, to be honest here, you can choose a different gameplay style. You're not stuck with just doing the traditional Kingdom Hearts style. And that's what I really liked. I really liked that magic got a good buff in this game, where it's like, you know, yes, in the handheld games, they were very powerful magic, like Balloon Rod, Thunder Surge, and all these other spells that you get. They're very powerful. But I'm talking about in the main streamline games of 1 and 2. 1, minus gravity and stop. Yeah. 2, you have to be wisdom or final form to really do some damage with that dang magic. 3, oh man, you can just wreck stuff with the magic, especially with the Keyblades. And so what they did with the Keyblades in this game, normally the Keyblades are just kind of weapons that you attach to Sora, and you know, they give you like an extra ability, or they give you a boost in power or something. That's pretty much what the Keyblades used to be like. In Kingdom Hearts 1, the Keyblades were just like, oh, they're stat boosters. Some of them have some cause and effect where, oh, if you attach this Keyblade, just know you get all this power, but you lose an MP bar. Or, oh, if you attach this Keyblade, it's really good at magic and gives you 2 MP bars, but it doesn't really have the critical hits that you're looking for. That's what Kingdom Hearts would do with the Keyblades in Kingdom Hearts 1. In Kingdom Hearts 2, it was like, okay, these Keyblades right here, they all have abilities, and these abilities will help your Keyblade do certain stuff, whether it's like an extra air combo or make you stay in your little limit forms a little bit longer, your special forms like Valor and stuff. That's what those Keyblades would do. They would just have like special abilities attached to it. This game, the Keyblades not only have those abilities attached to it, but as well, they can transform, and they can do a bunch of different things. Some Keyblades kind of feel the same, like the Monsters Inc. Keyblade and the Frozen Keyblade. They kind of feel a little bit the same, but they're still cool Keyblades at the end of the day. It's not like, oh man, I did not like using them. Each Keyblade can transform and do something different, and it's really cool too what the developers decided to do. Like, let's just say if you have a Keyblade and you really like it, some of the problems is like with Kingdom Hearts is when you get a new Keyblade, and especially when you just look at the stats, you're like, oh man, yeah, I want that Keyblade. I want to use that Keyblade, but I still like the design of the current Keyblade I have. Well, you can upgrade your Keyblades via the Moogle shops. You can synthesize them now and make your Keyblade stronger. So it's cool because you can use whatever Keyblade you want. Hell, if you just want to rock it with the Kingdom Key for most part of the game, you can upgrade the Kingdom Key as you go along, and the Kingdom Key is just suitable enough to kind of get you through the game, especially if you're playing on standard difficulty and just hitting the X button the whole time. So really, to be honest, they did a good job with the Keyblades, and what's cool too is you can attach 3 different Keyblades. Now, what I mean is, like, it's not like Sora's triple wheeling Keyblades, like Zoro from One Piece. He doesn't have one in his mouth and then 2 holding there. He has the ability to switch through the different Keyblades, so he can have one Keyblade, switch to the other, and it's really cool. And especially when you transform your Keyblades, you can have it where it's like, okay, I don't need my ultimate Keyblade transformation for this area because there's not a lot of enemies. So let me just switch out to another Keyblade, and you still get to keep that transformation that you have. So it's really cool, and especially because what happens is a lot of times you get into these mob battles, you can get to that ultimate form and just destroy everything. So the gameplay and the weapons and the aspects of also your partners and your party members with the amount of team attacks that you can do with them and how useful your party members are. Like, seriously, the only party member that really died a lot for me while playing through Kingdom Hearts 3 was Buzz Lightyear and Marshmallow from Frozen. Those were the only 2 people that were dying for me. But other than that, everyone else kind of stayed, survived. They did their thing. Still don't give these guys items because they still don't know how to use them. But they did their thing, and they had their team attacks, and they were very useful when I needed them the most. So that's what I like the most too. The gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 3, I feel like was one of the best things that they did. They combined almost every element from other Kingdom Hearts. And, you know, I wasn't a big fan of the command deck, and my biggest fear was like, oh, great, I have to learn how to use the command deck with the PlayStation 4 controllers. I'm pretty sure it would have been easy, but I like that they kind of kept the simple main series line strategy of doing it. So that way, someone who played Kingdom Hearts 2, even if they're not used to what they're seeing with Kingdom Hearts 3 or anything like that, they can be able to pick up this game and be like, oh, it's just like KH2. I press L1, there's my shortcuts. I press X, it does a bunch of crazy shit. I press triangle when it pops up on the screen and crazy shit happens. So that was a good thing that they did. I really like the gameplay from Kingdom Hearts 3. I know there's a lot of complaints from like hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans. Oh, it's too floaty. Unreal Engine. You know, I like it. I think it's fun. It keeps me entertained. Maybe I like the flashy combat more than the strategy side of Kingdom Hearts, and maybe that makes it a little bit boring. And I do respect and understand people who play Kingdom Hearts for the strategy aspect of it. But at the end of the day, you know, you gotta admit, it's still pretty cool seeing Sora do all these crazy combos and seeing all this shit fly on the screen. I think that's fun, at least. One thing I did not like, though, gameplay-wise, was the gummy ship. I felt the gummy ship, it was cool that they added an open world to it, but I felt you had to put in a lot of time with the gummy ship. And for the time that you put into the gummy ship, I don't feel like the rewards were very beneficiary. Like straight up, you just have to go to these like treasure planet type of orbs, and you find these treasures. And then like you can do some battles here or there, and there's some other battles that you can do. But I didn't feel like with past games, and here's the thing, I'm one of the few losers who actually like doing the gummy ship. Like gummy ship, like Kingdom Hearts 1, I make the gummy bus. I make the magic gummy school bus, and that thing destroys everything. I did all the gummy missions in Kingdom Hearts 1.5. That's how much I love the gummy ship. When I play through Kingdom Hearts 2, I go through the gummy missions, man. Like, I love the gummy ship. So for me as a gummy ship fan, I was just kind of disappointed with the gummy ship a little bit, just because it was cool being able to do like the free roaming and everything. It was just the battles were just, it was just not fun. And especially when you don't know how to get certain gummy parts and everything like that. If you didn't know, oh, I had to hit the treasure orbs and everything. And especially if you want to unlock one of the best weapons, if not the best thing in the game, you have to do a bunch of gummy ship stuff. So that was like kind of like my only dislike of the gameplay, was the gummy ship. The mini games are fine. Like, they have a bunch of fun little mini games. There's these things called the Fantastic Seven, and you have to do their mini games to get certain things. Tangled has a dancing mini game. Frozen has a mini game where you're bobsledding with Goofy and you're kind of doing like Sean Paul snowboarding. So that's pretty fun. And then as well, you get to cook with a little chef, aka Remy from Ratatouille. You cook food with him and stuff. So there's fun little mini games to kind of take you away from the gameplay aspects. And a lot of them are either annoying, or it's just like you need to do them to get certain items, or you need to do them to get certain achievements. Some of them can be beneficial. Some of them are just kind of like, this is a waste of my time. But yeah, the mini games are all right. Hit or miss for sure, but they're still kind of nice to kind of get the change of pace of like, oh, I'm just beating up Heartless the whole time and nobody's in Unversus. Let me go ahead and try to do something else. Off away from the gameplay, now it's time to talk about the story. Now, if you're a big Kingdom Hearts fan, you know the story is very convoluted. It feels like Nomura just kind of pulls stuff out of his ass, which I'm pretty sure he mostly does. The story of Kingdom Hearts 3, I would say, for the saga that he's trying to end, the Seeker of Dark saga, it was a fine ending. Not the perfect ending, but it was a fine ending. Like, I wasn't like pissed off, where I was like, oh man, this is terrible. I was satisfied. Not to the point where I was like, okay, Nomura, you did a great job. It was just more like, yeah, you know, like a good meal. It felt like a good meal. It wasn't like finding out ramen was the best thing in Final Fantasy 15. It was just more of like, oh, like the instant cup ramen. It was more like, you know, you made a good meal today. Like, Little Chef just made a decent meal. He didn't make like a perfect meal. And that's how I felt about Kingdom Hearts 3 ending, was that it was okay. My main gripe with Kingdom Hearts 3 is just Xehanort sucks as a villain. That's just me. I didn't understand what his goal was. Like, at first, like, I was down with Xehanort as a villain. I was like, okay, this guy is able to make a nobody like Xemnas and a Heartless like Ansem. Well, what is this guy's motivation? And it's just like, in Birth by Sleep, his motivation was to get a younger body so he can continue his quest. But I was like, what is this quest? it was just to open up Kingdom Hearts and make the Keyblade. But I didn't know what he wanted to do with this Keyblade. And then in this game, you know, he pretty much just tells you, I want to restart the Earth and make it in my own image. I was just like, oh. I didn't have a reason to hate Xehanort. I didn't have a reason to want to fight him. I didn't have a reason to really want to kick his ass. Like in Kingdom Hearts 1, god dang, this Ansem god possessed my best friend, made me into a Heartless pretty much, did all this stuff, made the king leave the Disney magical kingdom, took away my world. I want to kick this guy's ass. Kingdom Hearts 2, this guy Xemnas made my friend Riku go into the darkness, kidnapped my girl, did all this crazy stuff. I want to kick this guy's ass, you know. Like, not, and also as well made me into a tool to try to help him, tricked with my mind, because like I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2 that always made me freak out when the organization tells you, oh yeah, you've been helping us this whole time. It's like, whoa, dude, like freaking Xemnas, man, you've been mind tricking me. I want to kick this dude's ass, acting like I'm some puppet to him. No, I'm not no puppet. I'm going to show you who the real puppet master is. Xehanort is just kind of like, all right, man, you've been wasting my time for a long ass time. You came back out of nowhere in dream drop distance. I want to just kick your ass just because I'm pissed at you. And it's not like a good type of piss. As well too, I felt like the story, like, they did a good job with every world where it's like where you visit a world, there's like the Power Ranger villain of the week where it's like, oh, yay, Sora, you remember me? Yeah, I'm here. Time to mess crap up again. It's just like, okay, that's really what every villain was doing. It was just like to build the story of why Sora was in every world. It was like, oh yeah, that guy is there, and this guy is there, and that guy's there, and it's cool, it's nice, but sometimes some people are like, oh, really? Like they sent you? And then there's no satisfaction of like getting to like at least beat them up until the end. And it's just like they force everything at the end of the game where it's just almost like the first portion of the game is like, it's like, okay, this is a Kingdom Hearts game. Then afterwards, it's like, really? Like, we're just gonna force everything at the end? We don't take out some of the ranks beforehand? It's just like everything's forced at the end. Like all the cluster of the Kingdom Hearts story is forced at the end. And after every world, you know, they give you like a little backstory and everything like that leads up to the events. But it's just kind of like, oh. And this game, when it comes to the worlds, oh, it's super long. Like 2 hours each world. Each world is 2 hours. Some worlds are like continuations off the Disney movies. Some worlds are like literally just abridged versions of the Disney movie. Like Tangled and Frozen are literally the same movie. It's just they cut out some scenes and they added Sora, Donald, and Goofy to them. Like that's literally what they are, man. But when it comes down to it, the worlds in the game are pretty solid. You know, I wouldn't say it's the best lineup of Kingdom Hearts worlds, but they're pretty solid. It was very Pixar heavy, and I understand why, because of the engine they were using, what they really wanted to do it. But I felt like for the final chapter, especially with Sora, Donald, and Goofy, like maybe we should have seen other former characters that they were like really good friends with. You know, yeah, we went to go see Hercules, and that made sense. You know, Sora in the last game saw Hercules, you know, overcome, you know, the realms of the underworld to show his love and power for Meg. You know, that was cool, and it made sense for Sora wanting to go see Hercules again and wanting to learn how to gain his strength back, because Sora lost his strength in Dream Drop's distance. But then in this game, it's just like afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, you know what would have been cool if they visit Aladdin, or, you know, they go to Nightmare Before Christmas. You know, those are worlds that you visit twice before, and you can talk to those guys again. I don't see why we couldn't have had, you know, stops in other worlds from previous Kingdom Hearts games that actually meant something to Sora and would have helped Sora more than these other worlds where Sora's like goofing around. And sometimes I'm like, why is this world in the game? Like, sometimes some of the worlds I'm just like, they're just kind of like really feel like filler and just feel like, oh, we just put it in the game because we really want to see how Pixar would feel with Kingdom Hearts. And it was a cool crossover. Like the Toy Story world, that's been like a world Kingdom Hearts fans have been asking for. Corona and Arendelle, the Frozen, the Tangled and Frozen worlds respectively, those are worlds where it's just like, oh, we just want to see how this engine does. We just want to see what graphics we can push with this. Rapunzel's hair, damn it. You know how many cells we have to do? Like, it was like, okay, who cares? Overall, though, the best world in this game for me is Pirates. I love the Pirates world. It's literally a mini Assassin's Creed Black Flag and inside Kingdom Hearts, which is really cool. And what made this world for me is that we actually got to fight a Disney villain. Because it's always been cool to me when you're like in this game that you can fight the Disney villains and mess them up. Like, I always thought that was cool. Like, that was something that was cool to me in Kingdom Hearts. Like, man, I'm just like Final Fantasy fanfic character and I'm beating up like Jafar. Like, that's sick. And I loved Pirates because one, it was a mini Assassin's Creed Black Flag for me, and I love pirate games, and I love Assassin's Creed, and I love Kingdom Hearts, and bam, you put it in one game. Pirates of the Caribbean's one of my favorite Disney franchises, so boom, added even more. Sure, it's the third Pirates movie, not the second one. We skipped something there, but hey, whatever, boom. Pirates 3, that's fine with me. You get to fight Davy Jones in an epic battle. Oh, yeah, that was sick. I was like, yeah, man, I get to fight Davy Jones. That is awesome. That was fun. And that was fun being able to fight other Disney villains, and especially in other worlds, too. Like in Monsters, Inc. We should have been able to, like, hit Randall a couple times, man. You know how as a kid I always wanted to punch Randall from Monsters, Inc.? I was like, man, why didn't I get to hit Randall? We just made fun of him. We just threw him back to those rednecks. That's what we did at the end of the world of Monsters, Inc. To me, the worst world, though, was definitely Corona from Tangled. I like Tangled. It's not a bad movie. I think it's one of the more underrated Disney movies, along with Brave, like that don't really get talked about by a lot of Disney fans. But man, that world was just, the music stuck in my head, and it's just like I just don't like that world. It's just a straight line of nothing. Straight line of nothing. That's how I felt about Tangled, and just not a big fan of the world and the aspects of it, and it was just not a fun world to really travel and experience. I didn't feel like, oh wow, the magic of this world is really clicking with me. It was just kind of A lot of the worlds, what they'll do is like they either just have a lap around the world where you're just kind of going around the lap and you're seeing what everything is, or you're backtracking a bunch of times in these worlds. And granted, you know, these worlds are much bigger than any Kingdom Hearts world. They're not just like, all right, we're in a box area. They're huge, but they're generally like one to four areas at the most. Like there's like 1 to 4 areas. 4 areas is like the maximum, but for the most part, they're either just one giant map like Pirates and San Francisco. Those are just huge maps where you just have to explore everything. And then other ones are like, they're big maps, but you know, they're one area to an area 3. So, you know, not a lot of areas to go through, but that's good because the load times on Kingdom Hearts, they fixed them since the release date. The load times couldn't be really, really, really slow from it. But from a world aspect, the worlds in this one are okay. At least Sora has a reason why he's going to every world, because he's trying to figure out how to activate the power of waking, so that way he can be able to awaken the hearts of those who we have lost throughout the Kingdom Hearts journey, like Ventus, for example. Like that's the main reason why he's trying to learn that ability. So yeah, that there at least was a reason there, and some of the character interactions kind of made him realize those feelings of having the power of awakening. I don't know what Tangled really had to do with it, or Monsters Inc. to be honest, man. Like I don't know what they had to do with it, but hey, Sora learned some new stuff. But yeah, that was pretty much the plot of Kingdom Hearts, where it's just Sora's trying to learn the power of awakening. He wakens up. Ventus, Aqua gets saved by Sora, and then you go ahead and you go freaking fight in the Keyblade Graveyard. That's literally like the plot of the game. It's like I know I made it sound very simple, but in layman's terms, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, that's all it was. And really all the big plot dump was near the end of the game, which is kind of like a little bit of a turn off. But if you're like casually playing through Kingdom Hearts and you really just don't care about the story and you're just looking for the gameplay wise, you might like this game a lot. Likes about this game and dislikes about the game before I wrap up this long video. What I liked about the game is that, you know, we still have more Kingdom Hearts to be had. You know, obviously Nomura really wants to make this like Final Fantasy, where it's just like, you know, there's more to it. Like there's more games coming out. You know, we're not done yet. I like that, you know, pretty much that a lot of the characters got a little bit more fleshed out. I like the nostalgia factor about the game. You know, just having characters that we've been invested in for so many years, and they get to make epic and grand returns, and kind of like, you know, when you are invested in Kingdom Hearts and you watch YouTube videos and you watch people make YouTube videos and dedicate their channels towards Kingdom Hearts, you know, a lot of the videos that people make are like fan theory videos or, you know, discussion videos. Just kind of like here on this channel where I make videos about wrestling and I discuss with the people who watch my channel about wrestling and mixed martial arts. You know, these guys dedicate time and research and watching the cutscenes over and over again, and kind of like saying, oh, is this guy, you know, this person, or who is really Ansem, or I got a theory about Terra. And it's kind of cool that, you know, like Nomura gave a shout out to some people who probably maybe didn't, or in some way, but I feel like he did, or people who actually care about the series and kind of, made some fan theories come to life, at least in some regards. Like, the Guardian as Terra. I've seen that people talk about that for many years, not just like what's it called, recently, but like when it was like Birth by Sleep, people were saying, oh, could the Guardian be Terra? Can that black thing be Terra? And that was something that was talked about and discussed by a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans from what I saw from back in the day. So it was kind of cool to see stuff like that kind of making the game where it just felt like, hey, our voices kind of do matter. And it was cool when Sora was riding the Keyblade in the Keyblade Graveyard. It had usernames from the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross game, and they kind of help you defeat the enemy. So I thought that was really cool too. Another thing that I really liked about this game is that the ultimate weapon of Kingdom Hearts, the ultimate weapon, which is like almost the name of every best weapon in Kingdom, well, the quote-unquote best weapon, the strongest weapon in Kingdom Hearts, the ultimate weapon feels like an ultimate weapon. It feels literally like it is the best Keyblade in the game. Like, I remember back in the day when you would unlock the ultimate weapon, like, you was like, dude, I got this. But it didn't really feel like it was the best Kingdom Hearts Keyblade. Like in Kingdom Hearts 1, it didn't feel like it was the best Keyblade. And Kingdom Hearts 2, it didn't feel like it was the best Keyblade. Heck, Kingdom Hearts 2, you'll see people use Decisive Pumpkin just because of the ability he has. But the ultimate weapon in this game, oh my god. It just wrecks through people. And especially if you can get that through the final boss rush. Like, I'm just going to be real here. I don't know how I would have done against these final bosses if I did not have the ultimate weapon. That thing literally did numbers on all these final bosses, man. It was hilarious how much damage that thing outputted over there. But yeah, man, the ultimate weapon, like, I actually felt like all the hard work that I put into the gummy ships, those mini games to get the high scores, all the grinding I did in Arendelle to get my Wellspring and pulsing crystals. By the way, for all these people, if you made this part in the video, if you guys are wondering where can I find Wellspring crystals before the end of the game, guarantee you, man, Arendelle, just grind that area. Have the Toy Story Keyblade on with the Lucky Strike ability. You'll get your Wellspring crystals. Because I told my brother that, I said, if you need Wellspring and pulsing crystals, just go there. They have large bodies, drop them. They either drop Writhing Gems, Wellspring crystals, or pulsing crystals. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll do that. Literally, he came into my room. Then literally, not even like 20-30 minutes later, he's like, yeah, man, I got my Wellspring crystals just like that. You were right about that. Because that's what I was doing. When I noticed those things were giving out Wellspring crystals, I grinded Wellspring crystals like crazy. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, Wellspring crystals are easy to get. You don't need to wait till Battle Gate 12 to be able to get your Wellspring crystals. If you made it this far in the video, you're welcome. If not, I do apologize. But also, too, post-game wise, there's a lot more to do post-game, too. Like I said, the Battle Gates and the mini games. I just feel there's a lot of replayability content. Like, it feels like this is kind of like a final mix version. Because the thing is, like, when you beat the original, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, it's more like, all right, did I beat the secret bosses yet? No, I haven't. Oh, I gotta beat them. You have to wait till final mix until you get really real post-game type of stuff. Not really in Kingdom Hearts 1, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, a lot of people beat the game, and there's so much post-game with the organization data fights and everything like that, and going through the Cavern of Remembrance and fighting against the Lingering Will. Like, that's a good, like, hour to 2 hours worth of post-game, depending on how long it takes you, or maybe 3 hours if you think about it. But that's a good amount of post-game. And also the mushrooms, too, if you want to go out to the mushrooms. People kind of save that till the end of the game to do the mushrooms. So that's a lot of post-game. This game, you have your battle gates, you have your mini games to kind of perfect, you have the gummy ship to kind of, like, get to 100 and everything. There's a lot of stuff for you to, and your secret boss. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in this game, which I like. Like, that's something that I like to see. Like, after I beat the game, is there a replayability factor besides, oh, I got to go through the main story again? And there is. I feel like there is a good replayability factor with Kingdom Hearts 3. And so thank God that there's a replayability factor. My dislikes about the game. The dialogue and voice acting I felt was very shady at times. Like, for example, in the beginning of the game, there's like a scene where Mickey and Riku are kind of like chilling in the realm of darkness. And they're like literally just like giving you story points of what happened in the past Kingdom Hearts games. Like, oh yeah, I remember being here. Yeah, I was with Aqua over here once. Really, Mickey? You were with Aqua once back here? Yeah, that's right. That's where I found my Keyblade, Riku. Yeah, I knew I was a Keyblade master when, well, it's my secret. What do you mean, Riku? It's like, is this how you guys talk to each other? Like, you guys been friends. I've seen you guys talk to each other multiple times and retrain the memories. You guys are not like running down the Kingdom Hearts plot. Like, and then like when they're not in the realm of darkness, they're like, oh, notice that Ansem was younger? And then Riku's like, yeah. How did the old man get Ansem and Terra? Or Ansem and Xemnas? Maybe he used Terra's body. Is this where Terra's body was? Yeah. Don't you remember Birth by Sleep? It's like they're literally just there to like remind you about like this is what happened in Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh, you didn't play the games? Don't worry, we got you covered. Not only do we have those little memory sections that you can waste your time watching, but we'll have forced dialogue and bad dialogue sequences between these characters just so you know what happens. It didn't come off good. I was just like, oh god. And then some of the voice acting was just like, oh god. Like whoever played Buzz Lightyear, that dude literally phoned in his performance. He was just like, to infinity and beyond. All right, we good? All right, I'm out of this shit. Some guys did a great job. Like I will say this, Arendelle not my favorite world. But the fact they got most of the original cast for Frozen and they delivered for the most part, I felt their voice acting was great. Monsters Inc.'s voice acting was great. Pirates, hit or miss. Davy Jones sounded very weird. He was like, Jack, I'm gonna shake you down. I was like, whoa, that doesn't sound like the Davy Jones I know. And he wasn't doing a little bit of that he normally is like known for in the Pirates games and stuff. He sounded very, very off. But for the most part, hit or miss on Pirates. Even though it's my favorite world, there's some complaints there. But yeah, no, like Frozen, that was the best world when it came to voice acting. Toy Story, like I said, Buzz Lightyear phoned it in. Rex was great in Toy Story, but what Tangled, they were all right. But man, dude, Xehanort's voice actor, I don't know who it is. I know it's not Leonard Nimoy. Rest in peace to that guy. But man, dude, it was bad. Oh, he was bad. I'm sorry. Like, Xehanort's voice actor just literally was reading off the script. Like, there's so many scenes where like, now it's time to awaken Kingdom Hearts. And I was like, if this was Leonard Nimoy, this guy would have been like, and now it is time to awaken Kingdom Hearts. Like, he would have screamed that shit. He would have made me like all hyped. Like, oh god, Xehanort was just talking off the script and it just didn't come off right. And I was just like, come on, man. This is like one of the final Kingdom Hearts games in quite some time. One of the final mainstream line games in quite some time. And we're getting half-ass voice acting. Like, we can't even get these guys strict up. Like, I felt the voice acting in this game, like I said, some worlds, it's like, wow. Monsters Inc. and Frozen especially. Like, those are the two worlds where I felt voice acting was killer and stuff. And I'm not talking about the main cast, like Haley Joel Osment, Goofy, and Donald. Like, I'm not talking about those guys. You have to hear their voices all the time. They're going to kill it because, you know, their voices are the main voices. I'm talking about some of the side characters, even the main villain. Like, some of the voice acting was just bad. Like, I was just like, oh, man, dude. Like, just did not hit the mark whatsoever, man. It was just, I was just kind of disappointed with some of the voice acting throughout the game. And that's kind of what Kingdom Hearts makes me feel sometimes. What I always liked about it was that they had high values on voice acting. Like, the voice acting was always killer. Like, the writing is terrible in Kingdom Hearts. Like, I think we can all agree that sometimes the writing in Kingdom Hearts is just terrible. But when it comes to voice acting, you know, they normally nail it. And I just felt the voice acting in this game was hit or miss. Like, I was just like, oh, man, this is a very hit or miss type of thing from the voice acting. So the voice acting and the forced dialogue that they had just to kind of try to recatch up people, that was kind of bad. And also, too, one of the things I disliked is you have to be very knowledgeable about Kingdom Hearts before playing this game. I know everyone's going to say in the comment section, well, that's the whole point, Chase. That's why it's Kingdom Hearts 3. You have to know everything that's going on. And here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts 2, you're kind of forgiven for not playing Chain of Memories. You weren't as completely lost. They filled in the gaps just good enough. This game, if you don't know what's going on, you are just like, some of the cutscenes are just like, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I mean, yeah, something's happening, but I guess I don't know who this person is. I don't know what they're talking about. What's going on here? It's like Kingdom Hearts 2, at least there was like gap filler. There was like a nice little plug where it's like, yeah, don't you remember this happened? They went to the castle and lost your memories, so your memories are a little uh, distorted and stuff like that. This game is just like a plot dump. It just like tries to make you like remember everything from Kingdom Hearts, and like I get it. They put in a lot of investment with BBS and uh, Union Cross and all these other games. You know, I get it. But they could have done that where they can explain it to non hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans how to like explain the plot a little bit better, so that way people are not so damn lost. That's something I will say about this game, is that they could have done a better job with the what's it called, making it the plot tighten up for people to actually understand it that are not, you know, diehard Kingdom Hearts fans. I know a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans are like, well, you shouldn't be playing this. Well, here's the thing. This game right here is going to be popular with a lot of people, whether Kingdom Hearts fans or not. I know so many people who started with Kingdom Hearts 2 because they didn't even know. First of all, they were like, I didn't even know this was a second game. I just liked it because I saw the Disney characters. These Disney characters, these images you see in the back, almost every Kingdom Hearts game has this back in their games. And now I'm going to pull out the original copies of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 here. Like, look. You see Kingdom Hearts 1, you look on the back, you just see Cerberus, you see Maleficent, Ursula, and you're just like, whoa, dude, I want to play this game. Then you see Kingdom Hearts 2, same thing. There's Pete right there, and all these other Disney characters. You see Mickey looking like a badass right here, man. Like, straight up, you want to play this game. Kingdom Hearts 3, there's going to be people who are going to pick up this game just to play it because they want to know what's going, not just know what's happening, but they just want to know what it is. And sometimes it can lead you going backwards and wanting to pick up, you know, the other versions that I have were there that I didn't feel like bringing, but picking up the 1.5 and the 2.5. So really, to be honest, like, I felt like the plot, like, I get it that there's a difference because after Kingdom Hearts 1, there was this chain of memories, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 came. I totally botched that, but it's okay. We're at the end of the video. It doesn't matter. Like, after this game, Chain of Memories was just one game, so it was easy to kind of hide it. And in between Kingdom Hearts 3 and these two games, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 different games. I get that. So it's hard to kind of like, you know, abridge the plots enough to where it's like easier for like a casual to kind of understand the story. But I just wish the casuals could kind of understand the story a little bit more. Another thing I didn't like about this game, it's a minor gripe, but you know, one of the things about Kingdom Hearts that makes it attractive is the fact that, you know, it's a Final Fantasy crossover. People are like, wow, Final Fantasy characters are with Disney characters. And besides Moogle and the cactus and the Toy Story that makes a cameo appearance with the Final Fantasy theme song, no Final Fantasy characters. You don't get to meet up with Squall, Yuffie, Aerith. You don't get to see Cloud and Sephiroth finish their sword battle. Nothing whatsoever from the Final Fantasy characters in this game. And that was a little bit disappointing because I was like, man, dude, I really want to see what these Final Fantasy characters were going to do. I wanted to know how they were going to be put into the story. And I get it. Maybe they just felt, we're not going to put any Final Fantasy characters in this story because we don't want, you know, them to kind of take away from certain shine. And that's fine. But I felt like we should have gotten like a cutscene or something. Like, I don't know, Nomura, I really thought Nomura was going to try to put Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 in this game, or Lightning, just because, you know, he likes those characters. Those are two characters that I think he said are his favorites. I know he likes Lightning a lot, like, all of Square loves Lightning. Hell, we got Lightning Returns. But, when it comes down to it, I thought there was going to be some Final Fantasy characters. Minor gripe, it doesn't, like, break the game for me, because I wasn't really playing the game for, like, just the Final Fantasy characters, but it felt like something was definitely a little bit missing with no Final Fantasy interaction. And it kind of made Sora and his crew kind of feel normal. The fact that there was the Final Fantasy characters, because the Final Fantasy characters were kind of like the bridge to Sora's characters, why they're normal in the story sense. Anyways, I rambled on too long. Overall, I felt Kingdom Hearts 3, if you're a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan, it was good for the hype. It's fun. It's a game that you're definitely going to replay over and over again. It's a game that you're going to have fun watching speedrunners try to perfect. It's a game that you're going to have fun watching people do no damage boss fights against. It's a game that you're just going to have fun replaying. The gameplay is just super good in this game. And it's like to the point where it's just like, hey, man, I can pick up this game and can play it again. Hell, maybe after this video, I'll probably just grind my sword to level 100 because I feel like doing that. Or doing all the battle gates. I don't know. But overall, Kingdom Hearts 3 is enjoyable. And for that, I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was a very enjoyable game. Really good stuff. My brother, I asked him what he would grade it. He said like an 8.5, but he's more an overall video game fan, not just like a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan. He likes Kingdom Hearts. He enjoys the series, but he's more an overall fan than a diehard. But he said an 8.5. But he said, like, I can see why you would give this a 9. So I think it's a 9 out of 10. I don't really know what other games are coming out that would make me interested. You know, I used to be really huge into video games, but some of them have just been super disappointing as of late. So I kind of just play the games that I know from publishers that I trust. But thank you, Square Enix. You gave me Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a great game, and I enjoyed. Thank you guys. If you guys sat, well, I do 2-hour streams sometimes, so people sit through my videos a lot. Thank you guys for sitting through my video of Kingdom Hearts 3. I know this wasn't a wrestling video. I know some people were expecting maybe this would be like me talking about something wrestling related. The next time I'll be doing a wrestling video, it's going to be a review on the second pep rally for All Elite Wrestling. So, just letting you know, that's the next time I'll be doing a wrestling video on this channel. But thank you all very much. Remember, guys, just like our Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life. Yo!